70% of people on IG are not real. We are creating a profile so people can like us. And sometimes we create this profile to where it makes us feel better. And that's where men can lose their identity, because instead of posting the real us, we post what we think people will accept us as.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
What's the word, everybody? Welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. I'm your host, Matt, and today, man, we got a very special guest in the building.
For sure.
He just threw a little boat party. Not
Rocking.
little, right? How many people were on that bitch?
Like 450 on there.
That shit was packed. That shit was lit. I had a little shot of Casamigos.
Man, thank you for coming through, bro. It was a vibe.
I appreciate you having me, bro.
It's all love, you know.
He's the founder of Icehause. He recently partnered with LiveNation for a brunch event.
Yes,
and
sir.
shit. An educator. You be living a double life out here.
A ghost power, man. I might be ghost, man. You never know. It's definitely a double life for sure, though.
Introduce yourself, bro.
Man, so everybody call me Shy. I am 1/3 of Icehause, man. One of the premier event companies here in Chicago, throwing events for the young professionals. We stay lit and we handle business.
So who are the other two?
We got Rain, Darren, and Yao Nyako. Those are my two guys who I work with, yeah.
Are they alphas too?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we all keep it in the family.
We're going to talk about that too. But, man, I was like, Ash had kept, you have alpha in the bio. Ash had kept bringing up that you're an alpha. I'm like, I seen some people strolling on the boat. I'm like,
that was definitely us, though. We had the little one, too, bro.
I'm like, oh, shit. This a real alpha party, huh?
That's where it started at, man.
Before we get into Icehause, I got to talk about LiveNation, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody gets to partner with LiveNation and throw an event. So how did that event come about?
Man, blessing. So my boy Cam, he over Munchies and Mimosas in Denver. And he hit me like, bro, we going on this tour with our event, Munchies Mimosas. If you're ever in Denver, check it out. He's like, man, we partner with LiveNation, but when we come to Chicago, I need you to partner with us. So I'm like, man, that was the best opportunity ever. Called me, set us up, showed us the ropes, how I go, actually working with that type of business, that type of organization. And that was probably the best party, bro, of the year when it comes to us. I know the boat party was crazy. But that brunch with LiveNation and Munchies Mimosas was legit. Seeing people in the crowd, seeing it 1,000 miles was just like, all right, this is live. I can get used to this.
Who DJ'd that event?
We had two. We had Mile High. Shout out to Mile High. And we had Mike P.
See, Mike P's your go-to, huh?
My boy, man. When I need somebody in the chamber that I can rely on, I'm going to Mike. Mike never failed me, bro.
What makes him the go-to?
I think history, bro, just being brothers, being locked in for so many years. And he know, like, the chemistry, the communication is there. Like we on the boat, he like, it's time to go R&B. I'm like, yeah, it's time to go R&B. Like, we have that connection. He's seen my crowd. He's seen it grow from we being 19 all the way now to we 27, 28. So he know exactly what to play, when to play it. He know when it's going bad, how to make it good. So that's my go-to.
Shout out Mike P.
Shout out to my boy, man.
That definitely was the time to bust out the R&B, because once the R&B hit, I'm telling you, I had the Casamigos shot. I heard the R&B. I'm like, oh, okay. It's that time.
Yeah.
So then looking at where this all started, right? Like you said, it started at NIU, Alpha Days. What did that moment represent for you, being able to throw that large of an event with that type of organization?
I think I teared up at the restaurant. I forgot what fucking restaurant he went to. I think I teared up a little bit. It was like, I felt like I had broke through a wall. Like, when you doing events and when you doing something that you love, you always, in the back of your mind, you wonder, like, will this work out? Am I doing it for a reason? We all got a passion, right? Maybe my first love was basketball. Didn't work out, right? And then you get a second opportunity to have a passion at something. And then when you break through that first wall and it's like, God show you like, oh, it's possible. You kind of like get that emotional sense, bro, where it's like, it's more. Like, I can do a lot more. So being in that moment really just made me like, okay, the hard work is paying off. And even shedding a tear and be like, man, shout out to my boys that's out there in Denver doing their thing to tap in with me and be like, man, I want you to help me. It's like, you know, all them relations that we built, it just felt like a surreal moment. So it was like like one in a lifetime like goals of mine to do, and we achieved it. And I know it's gonna be some more. So I'm ready, locked in. But yeah, it was a real feeling, bro.
You know how
Talk
people
that.
always say, like, these are the moments I dreamed of. Like, yes,
Yeah.
sometimes these are the moments we dream of, but sometimes, like, you didn't realize it was even possible until it was an option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes our dreams are so far-fetched that they were something else, and then something else presented itself, and now, like, oh, maybe that's it sounds confusing. But anyways, these
No,
are
no, I get what you're
these
saying.
are the moments
Yeah.
we dream of, right?
Yeah.
Being able to throw an event of that caliber, being able to partner with people who hold that status.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, now you're looked at as, oh, you're a main player for real.
And that's the crazy part, bro. It's like still to this day, I don't think I'm a main player. I think I'm just you in the back of your mind, like, okay, I am a pivotal. We are a pivotal piece in what's going on in the nightlife. But like me, it's like I'd rather continue to just put on for the people I'm putting on for, like creating that good vibe. Like, yeah, if I'm the main player for that, yeah, but I don't think that really like drives me. But in your back of your mind, it's like, I have to bring it every time now because now eyes are on you, right? Now the expectations go up a little higher. So now it's time to like, okay, now the pressure is on, but it's good pressure. And then make you work 10 times harder, bro.
At what point do you think it is that you start to feel like, oh, I am this, right? That you start to realize your worth for real?
When people like really start coming up to you and like and just send you DMs like, man, when I moved here, I was lost. I didn't know where to go. I ain't had no friends. I started coming to your events and now I got friends. Or people coming to me like, man, bro, like I'm really like an introvert. And I come to your events alone and I just feel like everybody here is a family. We all friends. And those are the moments be like, oh yeah, it's working. Like it's becoming something real. Right? And you always want people to come to your events and real life have a good time and leave with like the most dopest experience ever. And not just with the party, just with like meeting other people. I feel like even on the yacht event we was on, I had to shout out everybody because we had 450 people on the boat, no incidents. Everybody was happy, laughing, chilling. Those moments where it's like, okay, yeah, we're doing something great.
That family vibe was a real thing. I was there alone pretty much. Like, Ash invited me. I kind of knew you, right? I just
Yeah.
met you that day,
Yeah.
but everybody was so friendly and genuine. Bro, getting off the boat, I met like 10 different people. They're like, oh, hey, cousin. I'm like, somebody was like, oh, primo. I'm like, oh, shit, it's like that.
Yeah.
It's one of those, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was a very inviting space and shit. That's why I was like,
Love.
you know, everybody that was on that boat, they showed me love. You showed me love. So I was like, all right, man, like, let's lock this in for real.
Yeah, bro. It's all about showing love, man. There's one thing the city missing is we gotta show a lot of people more love. Like no matter what they doing, not even the party space. Even you with your podcast, showing you love, posting your clips, right? Giving you opportunities, right, to show the world this what you do. Right. I think we just gotta show love to one another a lot more, bro. And it's not about hate anymore. We in a time where like we really gotta like embrace one another. As being young up and comers in this life, it's too many competition negativities where we need to be just more so we just working together and growing. So
Now, this all started at NIU. This all started in your college days. How did you end up there in the first place?
man, I didn't get into no college, bro. Like my grades would suck in high school, bro. I got like a 2.5, like real bad student. And maybe I didn't get school, or maybe I was just having too much fun, or I was trying to live this bad boy image. I don't even know, bro. But wasn't good at school. ACT was trash. Was trash, bro. Like I sucked. I ain't getting to no college, even community college. Like, nah, you got to figure something else out. You got to figure something else out. Nah, I did end up getting through a chance program at NIU. It was like a little program for students that fall below, the requirements and get them an opportunity. So once I got that opportunity, I just kind of took off. But really, bro, bad grades, bad scores, and testing. So that was my only option. I had no other school.
What was your SAT or your ACT?
Bro, it was terrible.
You gotta say it, bro.
It's been
It was like a 10.
It was like a 16, bro. It was
that's
low.
like average.
Hell nah. I averaged like 21, bro.
You know what? Never mind. Yeah.
See, look,
That's bad.
it was like a 16. It was terrible. I'm cool with it now because like I'm super successful, but it's like a 16, bro. Took it twice too.
So you didn't just do bad because it was like a fluke. You did bad because you sucked, for real.
I probably sucked for real on that test that shit. I probably didn't do good on that. But I don't know what it was. But I probably had test anxiety. That's what everybody says, test anxiety. So I probably just ain't really care. You know what it is? I didn't think college was really real, though. Like, I know it was real, and I know it was forced. Like, not forced, but like, you got to go to college. You got to go to college. But me, I'm like, do I really got to go to college? Like, do I really have to do that? Like, I know my mom want me to go, but I think that's what kids struggle with today. Like, do I really have to go to college? And looking back at it, it's like, with me being a whole nother career field when I got in, I'm in debt. Because it's like, shit, if I would have just picked to this career, I wouldn't have no fucking loans. But, you know, I think we all start off like that, not knowing exactly.
What made you think that it wasn't a real option to begin with?
Growing up in those poverty environments where it's like everybody hustling, getting money. So it's kind of like, well, I'm just going to hustle. I can have a bunch of things going on. Because those are your main influences you growing up. And your main influences ain't the Jay-Z's, it ain't the entrepreneurs. It's really the guys on your block that's hustling, right? That got the cars, right? Nice girl. So it's kind of like those are your biggest influences. So you real life, you're not really focused on the real entrepreneur type person that is shown to you. Nah, you looking up to the guys in your neighborhood that's really like, okay, I want to be like him. He got a nice car. He ain't in college. He's successful. So to me, it's like, is it really possible? Do I really have to do that, right? And that's how my influences changed that I got to college.
So growing up, you know, seeing that and seeing how certain people sustain their lifestyle and, you know, hustling to get it. When you're seeing this as an adolescent, do you think that that's like a lifelong sustainable career, or what's the thinking behind that?
I think it can be sustainable. Depending on what your hustle is, depending on your drive. If you got a bigger, real life, bro, if you got a bigger goal than your hustle that you hustling, it's sustainable because you have a bigger purpose. Like, we could be hustling right now, but I know, pretty sure, like, your radio is blowing up, like, the podcast blowing up. I bet the bigger goal for you is to take it global. Network, TV network, you going crazy, interviewing all these artists. That's your hustle, your passion is sustainable. Same thing people on the streets. They got a hustle, right? But they got a bigger goal. We might not know the goal, but they do. So long as they stay locked in, they go sustainable. And we shouldn't judge a person by that because their hustle ain't like our hustle, right? Support them, right? You know what I'm saying? Maybe in their mind, they got a bigger play. So, and just believe in a bigger play. And that's it. So it is sustainable.
So then the beginning of Icehause, right? That's your hustle in college. That's what you're doing to make some money. Take us to the beginning. What started it all?
It wasn't really parties. It was dance shows. Me and Yao, we started doing Face Off, which is a dance competition in NIU. Kind of blew up, packing an auditorium with 1,000 people. Just super live, bro. And then turned to parties. Now we doing parties in the actual, like, graduation arenas with a whole, like, 2,000 people, right? And you think it's easy on the campus, but it's really not. Especially NIU when it's segregated amongst, like, you know, people doing this over there. So you gotta really like bring people together. They gotta really believe in your events. Like, oh, I'm going, it's lit, right? Because not everybody events are turning out like that in college. So it started off just doing the dance shows and the house parties, bro. Like, literally, the house parties is where it's at. People be skipping that step. We used to kick it. Like, that's how I want my events be. Let's kick it. Like, it's cool. We got sections of bottles now, but that was the best time. Kickbacks was a thing. That's when Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, that's when their music was bumping, even the Drakes, and kickbacks was a thing. We didn't need a big lavish party. So now kickbacks is where, like, everybody mingling, everybody kicking. We don't need about we're drinking on the most cheapest liquor ever at the liquor store, bro. The bottle is $10.
The Svedka.
And you know what I'm saying? And everybody having a great time. And then we go to a restaurant at 3 a.m, eat everything, and then we ain't waking up until 12 o'clock the next day. And we had the best time of our life, bro. Why can't we do that now? So it started with the kickbacks and the dance shows, and it just blew.
So then what does Icehause represent? What's the significance to you?
First off, Ice is for the Alpha, right? Shout out to the bros.
Oh, is that an Alpha thing?
Yeah, Ice.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
yeah. But then house, it's more so like welcome to our house. Like, welcome to our experience, right? So it means when you come to an Icehause event, It's like, welcome to our house. Welcome to, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. Welcome to a good vibe. Welcome to the best DJs, right? Welcome to it all, right? Because you're not gonna get this experience at nobody else's house but ours. You ever got that one family member or friend house that's always fun? Like, you kicking at this person's house. That's how it is for our events. Like, Ice House, it's a house, man. Come to our house, you're gonna have a good time.
So why bring it to the city? Why not leave it in DeKalb, right? Those are your party days. That's when
Yeah.
you're young.
Yeah.
You leave college. You're supposed to go. No offense, right?
Yeah,
you
no,
leave
no, no.
college and you're supposed to go be professional. You're
For
supposed
sure.
to go be something that
Yeah.
you weren't in college.
9 to
because-
5, work at desk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So why bring this to the city?
Cause you, like I said before with the hustling, you got a bigger goal. It's like, I'm in the city. It's like, I feel like it's a crowd of people that believe what I believe in and want to kick it how I kick it. And let's make it citywide, right? And it was hard at first because, like, I went to NIU. Like, I got to tap into the city. People that didn't go to college, that did go to college, right? So it's like, bring it to the city to make it more citywide, like to bring the vibes here, add something new to the nightlife. So we brought it here, and boom, you know. And you just want people to come in from all different schools, right? All different backgrounds, and kick it, and then make your pool bigger, right? So now you like are really tending to a lot of people that want to share that same experience. So it was a way for us to just grow. And some people be scared to actually get out there and grow. And I want to say, when you want to do something, you gotta like push yourself to the limit. Like, too many times we stay in our shell. You really gotta push yourself to the limit. Get the doors closed in your face. People telling you not nothing. To real life breaking through all that and to making your brand hot. You gotta put yourself first. So, and you gotta put your brand first, and you gotta stand behind it through all the rough patches. So, bring it to the city was a way for us to test our limits to see if we could really do this.
So what was the moment that showed you that?
We started doing this monthly party. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. You missed some shit, bro. All right. This monthly party, bro, is at Renaissance, bro. Now, mind you, Renaissance is in Bronzeville. Not the most sexiest place in the city.
Far as fuck.
Far as fuck, bro. But it was free parking. Drinks was cheap. And we can bring our own food in there. So now we got a vibe, right? And now we got all the DJs that's coming up, right? They with us. You know what I'm saying? We having a great time. And everybody used to come. Everybody know the second Friday of the month, we have Ice House at Renaissance. And I'm telling you, it was such a vibe that, like, at the end of the parties, bro, it looked like Las Vegas on the Strip. The club was the only club on the block. So now everybody left the party, and now we on the Strip, bro. To 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. The police right there, they ain't tell us to go home. They ain't shut us down. Everybody on the Strip kicking it, bro. And that's why I was like, and the police ain't doing nothing. They was just sitting there. They was like, they letting us kick it. We weren't causing no problems. You know, they ain't had no neighbors, so it wasn't like we waking somebody up. No violence, none of that. People was even pulling up to that was the after party. We had the Strip. We had the after party for an hour. People pulling up in they low riders. I'm like, okay. And then once that happened, bro, I'm like, oh, this shit busting. I'm like, man, I'm going, y'all. They were like, yeah, we gonna be out here for an hour. I'm like, all right, be safe. Never got a text from the owner like, oh, it's an incident. Never got a text from somebody else, something happened, fights. That's when I knew, like, oh, this shit can be it.
And you didn't stay there for the after party?
Now, I stayed there for a couple, like, I was tired. I was there for like 8. But, like, sometimes I did, though. I had to, because it was too lit. And everybody was having a great time. And then somebody put on their radio on their car, now we got another party. Everybody jamming. So sometimes I did stay, though.
But with that being said, right, you know, at times you felt like, I gotta stay, right? It's too lit. And sometimes with our passions, we become so caught up with them. We become so infatuated, right? And sometimes it feels like we're indebted to them. So because we've dedicated this much time to it, because I've been doing this for so long, right? At this point, you took a college thing and brought it to the city. You probably felt like, oh, I need to do this. I need to keep doing it. Was there a point where you felt trapped?
Felt like if I stopped, like, am I letting myself down? Like, what I'm gonna do next? Like, and you do it so much and you want to be so big to a point where, like, now am I forced to do this? And then you sit in your room, you got to plan the next couple of events. It's like, now I got event blocks where it's like I don't know what to think of because I want to bring something different. So now I feel like I'm trapped to bring this experience every time, but it gets harder and harder. So like sometimes you just want to be like, man, I want to take a break for 2-3 months, and it's like, damn, nah, I can't because if I do, my brand suffers. Right? I don't. It's people that need my events, so it's like you feel trapped because it's like I have a life too, right? And sometimes my life don't involve parties, right? It involves like I'm a simple guy. Like I like taking trips, bro, and just vibing out to somebody else's party, right? Kicking it. Or just going to a place, bro, like Soho or something, and just relaxing, bro. Not even like dealing with anybody. So now I feel trapped. Like I have to do this because somebody's counting on my events for an outlet. They might got something going on. But my parties help them breathe a little more. So like now you're at the crib and it's like you gotta put a billion people first before yourself. And now everything else sometimes trickle down, bro. Spiritual, bro. Health, right? Sacrificing time with family, right? When your family already small, bro. So it's like I miss so many birthdays. I miss proms, bro. I miss a lot of things, graduations, just for the love of the brand. And it's like I felt trapped, like I had to do this. And now I learned that you have to make those sacrifices to get to where you want, but it's hard. And you gotta and your family and everybody that you probably missing out on, they just gotta understand you're not doing it out of ill intent. You doing it because you really love what you're doing. But then again, you have those moments where you feel trapped. Especially when you're single too, bro. And dating is hard, because all you doing is work, work, work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I be feeling trapped. And that's why I started reading more, locking in with my spirituality a lot more, and setting aside to like go kick it with my grandma, kick it with my mom, text my little cousin, linking up with her. You know what I'm saying? Going to Houston, kicking with my little sister. You know, making those times throughout the year to where it's like I'm putting aside time for family and myself. Sundays, everybody know it's my day. It's wake up, work out, church. Right? I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not looking at IG. Right? And implementing those things has helped me feel less trapped. Then I feel trapped all over again, bro. When I got a cracking party, it was like, damn, everybody looking like, what's next?
Because now you're the person that's looked at for it, right? And I feel like there has been points for me where it felt like that, right? I was telling the last guest we had last week, I'm like, I'm not, when I started this, it was about me. I was talking about me. And that was my outlet. It was created because I had so much going on in my life. And then I started interviewing people, and as that grew, people started to see like, oh, like this is his style. Like he's good at pulling out certain things that I'm not even gonna realize. So I feel like when people come here, they expect that. They expect to say some shit, some profound shit that's gonna like go viral,
And
right?
change their life.
Might change their life, right? So if I'm not doing that and I'm not putting my best foot forward, I feel like I'm robbing them of an experience. But then again, it's like, bro, I got to get this out. I got to talk about me. I got to talk about what's been going on with me, because if if I don't got my outlet, if my outlet became for everybody else, what do I got? What am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you put yourself at risk.
So it's like, bro, like what did I create and why did I create it? And some of the best advice I received from somebody one time was that you don't owe anybody anything.
Bro.
And this is somebody that works at like a big music corporation. They're like, you don't owe anybody shit.
Mm.
If you don't want to do it, don't do it. And that's why, I've started to move with this energy that I'm like, all right, man, like, let's handle our shit. If it gets handled, then cool. Like, we'll go about everything. If it doesn't get handled, then it is what it is. I'm going to continue to do what I do, and I'm going to enjoy my process, because I'm not going to sit here and be anxious and be paranoid and feel bad because you didn't want to follow through on what we were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
It's like that mindset you have of like you don't know nobody's shit. It makes you move with more intentions of you and your purpose, bro. So you kind of block out the noise and really focus. You just tunnel vision. And I feel like I learned that late. Like I don't own anybody's shit. Cause now I was at a point where like I gotta work with this. I gotta work with this person. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And it's like not getting that same love in return, bro. It really hurts, bro. Because it's like I feel like I owe certain people certain things because maybe they helped us, right? Maybe they gave us a little small play, right? But maybe they had ill intent with that small play. So now from what you're saying, like you don't owe anybody shit. I learned that so late in the game. But I learned it to the point where now like it helped me progress a lot more, bro, because now I'm more tunnel vision on the guys I grew up with that's been with this Ice House thing. This ain't a big circle. We a dot. It's not few, it's not a lot of us. It's a few of us. It's all we need. You know what I'm saying? And now we're more moved with a purpose as a unit, as an army, and I love it.
So let's talk about that, right? That dot, that circle, that's the alphas, right?
Members of my fraternity and just people that I met along the way, people I grew up with.
But the alphas is another organization that helped you find your way
Yeah.
out in NIU. What made it so important for you to join this organization?
It was shout out to my chapter Epsilon Phi. It was really the brothers in the chapter, man. It just more so them really taking a kid that really know his passion, they really know what he wanted to do, seeing something in me and was like, oh yeah, we can make him into something, right? And I feel like that is the biggest key to help me join the fraternity, learning everything I want to learn, them putting me in position to succeed, putting me in leadership positions to be ready for this interview and this seat that I'm in now, right? So putting us in this position to where we know what to do when that moment comes. So think about it, man. You're on a campus. You don't know anything about fraternities, right? You don't know anything about that. You get on campus, bro, and you breaking stroll lines. You just talking crazy to them, right? You like, bro, I'm not in none of that. And to the point where they block all that ignorance that you had and still grab you and say, I'm gonna still show you. That's real love, right? Because any other person like, man, that kid's ignorant. He don't come from nothing. Let's leave him alone. They ignored that, my ignorance, and was like, all right, we gonna show you how you really do X, Y, and Z. So that helped shape me to now because that's how I give everybody opportunity. Whether I'm gonna ignore the mistakes you make early on, because people like ignore my mistakes because I see the passion in you, right? So they kind of help shape me, right, into being this leader that I am, right? How I think, how I treat people, right? And stability, bro. Like having brothers that always gonna be there no matter if you argue, right? That's love. That's what you need.
So then how did becoming an alpha help you find your identity?
They ask me a question like, who am I? Right? That's a question you always get asked, like, who are you? Right? And you don't really know, but the whole point of this journey is to find out who you really are. So and you don't get it right away, bro. Like you still learning shit as you going through it, right? So having that questions, right, and them ask you those questions, them identity questions, like who are you? What you want to do? Like, and all those questions make you real life break down every bit of you and figure out what's the real purpose of your life. And I think now I finally got that when I turned 28. And I crossed when I was 21. 7 years of asking who am I? Right? So 7 years of asking who am I? I'm finally figuring out at 28. That's how much time it took for that seed to grow. Cause the who am I is really a seed, bro. It's not really like the foundation to like you're not supposed to get that answer right away. That's just a seed you plant and it grow, right? So it really broke down like who am I, right? What I really want to do, right? And they taught me how to execute it. So I always ask even my students like, man, who are you? Right? I'm gonna lead you with that question, like, who are you? And they'll give you some made up, they give you a whole they name. It's like, nah, like who are you? And they don't figure it out until maybe their senior year, right? Or maybe their senior year in college, right? And that is the point of who am I. So when they ask me that question, I'm like, it took me some time to realize it, but I found it. Like, oh yeah, I want to be a family man, right? I want to be a business owner, right? I want to own family businesses where it go past my time here, and I want to have kids and grandkids where it's like, grandpa, dad built this, so now we're good and let's continue to build. That's who I am. Somebody who care about the foundation of something, right? That want to change the trajectory of the lives of my family and my people. That's who I am, right? I'm not a party promoter. Like I hate that. No, I'm an event curator. I'm here to create a vibe. I'm here to bring you experience because my end goal It's to provide an outlet for you, but let's keep it 100, an outlet for my family, right? So it's we all playing this chess game together. We all working together. So, who am I, right? And that question created the seed and created me.
So what was it that finally revealed that answer to you?
Getting my master's, it wasn't got nothing to do with party related. It was like getting a second degree in special ed was like, okay, like I know I'm good at events, but now I got something to fall back on. I actually got a master's. The kid who really didn't 2.5, 16 on the ACT, got a master's in special ed. Crazy, bro.
Why special? I'm gonna let you finish.
It's crazy, bro, right? Who would have thought, right? I bet you somebody had so many other plans of how it would be, right? So it's kind of like, man, right, you made it, bro. It ain't got to do with a party. It was like, man, he degreed up. I don't need the events. If push comes to shove, I love doing what I'm doing, right? But it's showing me like, nah, you got multiple talents, Shy. That's what you do.
And there's even a tweet where you say that exceeding my own life expectations, never saw life panning out this way.
You just snapped. Hey, bro. Hey, you go crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That was dope. I love that, bro.
What did that vision of your future initially look like? So you said that, right? There were multiple ways that this could have turned out. Who would have really thought that it would have been this way?
You got to go through childhood. Like, childhood trauma is real, bro. And you got to go through that part of your life to really figure out, like what really people thought about you, what they put on your life as a younger kid, bro. And it's hard because that is the foundation of everything, like how you treated as a kid, the love you got as a kid, the people that you was around as a kid. So hanging around my homies who I've been cool with for 15 plus years, and people telling us like, oh, since we hung out too late and we had bad grades, we're not gonna be nothing, right? Kids get told that every day, and they believe in that, so they go down the wrong path. So like, I made that tweet. It was like, I looked around. It was like, events going crazy, liquor sponsorships coming in, great mentorships around me, got a good career. Like I exceeded life expectations in therapy. I think therapy helped me realize that too. Like, what? I'm exceeding this. Like, cause as you think about it, bro, we put so much pressure on ourselves as men that we be like, am I living up to a man? Like, am I living up to the expectations of being a man? And it's like, you sit back, bro, and it's like, damn, like, am I really making my mom happy? Right? Am I really making my dad or my family happy? And when you sit back and realize I have created and I have done this in this amount of time window, whatever, you be like, damn, I'm good. I did that. And I had to make that too. It's like, I'd exceeded life expectations. So everything now is a bonus. Nobody can ever tell me I didn't make it. Nobody can ever tell me I became this or that. I'm cemented now, and what I've done from college to now was like, oh, I cemented my place in what I have done. And everything I'm getting now is a bonus, the addition to my life. And I got to thank God for that.
So you went through a lot right there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You touched on a lot.
Yeah, my bad.
So
Yeah,
we got to
yeah.
break down a little bit of it at a time. Growing up, being told that you're never going to be anything, how did you see that impact the way that you thought about yourself as you continue to grow?
It impacted my life a lot, bro. Because it's like, first off, you go to a high school that is tremendously good, right? And now you wonder, do you deserve to be in the classroom with these other kids? Because you know how you got into school. You didn't have the grades in college, right? You got blessed to be at this school. So now I'm in the classroom doubting myself because I'm thinking, do I belong to be here, right? Because I'm looking around and I ain't got the latest shoes everybody got. I ain't got the flyest clothes, right? I'm sharing clothes with the homies. He go to a different school, Now we trading shorts, trading pants, we trying to stay fresh because we ain't got it, right? But do I have it, right, to be amongst these type of kids who parents probably got it, right? Which is a blessing to them. I never looked at them like, oh. But those type of things make you doubt yourself at an early age, right? Because you start to think like, am I deserve to be in this classroom, in this school, in this moment, right? And you got to break out of that. And sometimes that take a while to break out of.
It makes you feel like you're not good enough. And it's this mental hurdle that you got to get over, right? And even I hate to say this for real, but even me right now, right? When you surround yourself in an environment that consistently speaks to you in a negative way, it could be a person, it could be multiple people, but that thought gets into your head and it's not really like a conscious thing, right? You don't wake up every day and think like, oh man, like I ain't shit.
Not
But
really.
but subconsciously, like if it's been told to you for so long, you start to realize like, man, I was really just going through life, and now that I'm trying to change things, I'm seeing like I think all these negative things about myself. And it's like it's not a real thing. It's just kind of you trying to break out of being told something for so long, being told that you're not good enough, being told that oh, you could be doing better, being told that you're never going to be any better. When you're told that consistently, it's like, well, I'm not. So then why try? Which then you go down a rabbit hole of allowing yourself to break yourself down even worse until one day you're like, well, fuck. I either got to pull myself out
or keep falling down this rabbit hole.
and it's like, which one are you going to do? Which then, going back to what you say, right? As being a man, like, am I doing what it takes to be a man? And I think that that's the second hardest part. I think that's the second hardest part when it comes to this idea and this living. That's the second hardest part when it comes to living up to this idea of in society what you are pictured as a man, right? Everybody has their own definition. And when you don't fit into somebody else's definition, and man, Twitter is a terrible place. Twitter will fucking tell you you are a piece of shit.
Yo, I went viral on Twitter.
For what? What you say?
So we had a dress code for our events. So I guess I offended a young lady because she couldn't wear something in my dress code. And all she said something about his Uncle Tom wanna be, and it just went viral, bro. And it was like everybody started talking about a dress code. We got like almost 2,000 retweets, 100 some quotes. I'm like, people.
So they were hating on your dress code?
Yeah, they said like, oh, they want us to show up in suits, but they was mad because we have a dress code, and the dress code wasn't even that big of a deal. Like she couldn't wear like white Air Force Ones. Only at that establishment because that is their rules. It wasn't me. It was like, oh, we don't want that here. Cool, I put it out there. You can still wear Jordans. You can still wear New Balances. You can still wear a ton of other shoes.
So it was just Air Force Ones they didn't want?
You could have wear Air Max. Like, you get mad at me because what are guys supposed to wear? That's the freshest thing a guy can wear. I said, no, he can wear some Jordan Bread, some Space Jams. He can wear a lot of stuff. Say, no, that's not it. I'm like, okay. Even a lawyer in LA quoted, like, there's discrimination, right? I'm like, discrimination? I'm like, we're talking about white Air Force Ones. Bro, like, what are we talking about here? There's so many shoes out here. Yeah, Joe. Went viral, but it was the most. That's when I knew, like, hey, Twitter dangerous, bro.
To my point, right? My bad. I was going on a tangent.
Yeah,
but
you good.
To my point, there's a societal expectation of what a man's supposed to be. If you don't spend $400 on a girl, you're not a man.
Hey. Okay.
If you split bills with the girl, right? You're not a man. And that's just the money aspect, right?
Yeah.
Now take that a step further, right? Maybe she got a better job than you.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how life goes, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's relationship is different. Everybody's expectations and their aspirations for life are different. Now, what you see I had this conversation last week and I'm fucking having it again. But now what you see on social media, that's different than real life. Social media is not real. It's not a real place.
It's an imaginary place where we become somebody or something that we're not in real life. We put the pictures out we want you to see. We post what you want you to see. And we portray this image of the person that we really want to be inside. So let's be honest. I'm gonna be generous here. 70% of people on IG are not real. We are creating a profile so people can like us. And sometimes we create this profile to where it makes us feel better. And that's where men can lose their identity, because instead of posting the real us, we post what we think people will accept us as, right? So I stopped, bro. I stopped posting continuously. If I ain't got nothing going on, I'm not finna go to a restaurant to take a picture of my food to show you I'm living life. If I don't have nothing to post, I'm not posting it. If all I got is my events, well, that's all y'all finna get. Like, I'm not finna act like I'm on vacay and it's like I'm finna the water. Like, nah, like if I'm there, I'm there.
And it's even in the Drake song, right? In the Drake song Emotionless, he says, I know a girl whose one goal was to visit Rome. Then she finally got to Rome and all she did was post pictures for people at home because all that mattered was impressing everybody she's known.
And that's all we do, bro. We're trying to impress people too much and rather trying to impress ourselves. And sometimes I'll be looking like, man, you ain't had to post that, bro. I still got that feeling like it's people still out here watching us and people that like secretly don't like us or hate us. So I don't like to post so much. But so it's because you don't want to. Sometimes you post too much and people be like, they create envious through your posting. It's like, it's crazy, bro. But you have to be careful with that as a human being in this world, because you got people that get jealous over social media posting. I'm not saying not live your life, but I'm saying, like, does your life have to be on publicly shown everywhere? It doesn't. And you don't have to, like you said, you don't owe nobody shit.
For me, what is public is what I want to show you at the end of the day, right? Because I come on here and I talk about whatever I want. That doesn't mean it's every single thing that's going on in my life. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Because for me, this is my life. So to expand outside of that, it's a little bit hard, right? It's hard to explain because I do this so much that, yeah, when we go ahead and do a Sueños, when we go ahead and go to Lyrical Lemonade, I don't feel like I got to post all of that. I'll throw up a fucking video because I'm a music profile, but ain't nobody got to know everything in my personal life. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get back to this, right? Now, I want to take it back to those expectations a little bit, right? That expectation of what your life was supposed to look like. Being from where you are over East, people telling you that you're not this, you're not that. How important was that in making you the educator you are today?
You have a soft spot, or you have a learning curve for the kids that come in those neighborhoods that don't know any better, but they're having a hard time expressing or excelling in that school environment, right? Because these kids that are growing up in these areas, they've been told that they're nothing. They come from these environments where it's hard to focus. It's hard to focus on anything other than life, right? So school is a burden to you. It's like, why am I here? So the expectations of what I went through really helped me be patient with students. And it also makes me have that learning curve for them to give them more grace, right? Not being lenient, but being more grace. Maybe switching up how I teach certain things, how I communicate with them, right? Maybe it could be as simple as during their finals, bro. I play their music during finals. The clean version, of course, right? But I'm playing Chief Keef while you taking your final, right? Because let's be honest, it's too quiet in here. And your anxiety is flaring up. But if I'm playing something that you can resonate you to make you calm, that's just a small thing you can do. But that help you, you know. But to kind of help the students love school, but also advance in life, right? I think teachers and educators, we have to make the content a lot more relatable for the students that really don't want to be here, right? And either when they don't want to be here, they end up leaving school, right? Or not taking it serious. So when they're out and they graduate, they have nowhere to go. Now they hit rock bottom and they have to figure this whole thing out, right? So going through my expectations really helped me give students more of a grace and made me show me how to really teach some of these students a lot different.
What makes you put the emphasis on being a male educator then?
Emphasis on like what makes me want to be one, or makes it like the icing on the cake, like what makes me want to actually like the passion behind it.
So in your bio, right, your Instagram bio, you have Black Male Educator. Why put the emphasis on that?
When you look at the stigma around like black males, it's a stigma, whereas not present in the home, right? Um, gangs, right? Um, abuser. I know I'm just naming all these other things, right? And I'm letting them know like it's a black male in the classroom that's leading the future of our generations, right? And I just want people to know that I am a black male educator. I'm proud to be one, and I'm above the stigmas, right? I beat all the odds, so I'm here in the classroom because I am a person who understand there's stigmas out there, but now I'm in the classroom that beat all the odds. I'm here to show my students that it is a way. The other young males in the classroom, and also the young ladies in the classroom, right? To show them like, hey, it is a positive male figure that's doing what they want to do, and you can look up to me, right? So I have to put the emphasis on that because not that many of us in the education field, right? And we're doing a great job of changing that narrative of black male in the household, but also in the world, right? It can go deeper, bro, from even having more independent women because they feel like they can't lead on males, right? So it's like we're doing a great job in this education system to show them that, hey, we're here, we're present, and we're doing what we got to do.
And it allows you to be this vessel, like you said, right? Be this vessel that now you're showing these kids they have somebody to lean on. But not only lean on, but show them certain lessons from your experiences in life, right? I think one of the most important things that you've shown, I don't know if you've shown it to them, but that you've been able to show publicly is this vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
Because I pulled another tweet. Hold on, I got to pull it up. The other tweet you posted was for the people who I interacted with during a time I was lost, confused, dark space. I apologize. That was not the best version of myself. And showcasing this vulnerability is hard for a lot of people because it's hard to face yourself. It's hard to face the flawed version of who you are. When I don't like myself, I don't want to straight up be like, bro, how do we figure this shit out? No, I want to hide away. I want to have, and this is where you fall into relationships and you fall into this comfortability factor. You want to have that person that accepts you for who you are, and hopefully, eventually you'll change. But really, you just want somebody to see who you are and say, I love you either way you are. So when you have that vulnerability and you say stuff like, I was in a dark space, I'm sorry to everybody I interacted with because that was not the best version of me. That's hard to look at.
And you lose friendships over it, bro. And I'm talking about friends you've been knowing for 10, 15 plus years because your lack of accountability within yourself, thinking that you're okay. And that's you probably not communicating. You letting your pride get away of going to your brother of 15 plus years and having a man to man conversation with them. Or that one girl you dated, right? Where it's like, I know I was an a-hole. I know I said some things I should never said, right? And it's because I was in a dark space and I just didn't know how to communicate and express my feelings, right? And those are traumas that we're inflicting on those individuals. Little do we know, we're creating scars, my fault. We're creating scars and scratches on people, bro, because we're not cognizant of how we're talking to the people that we love, bro. And I had to make that tweet because I was sitting back, I think I was just journaling. And it was like, man, I really feel bad for the friendships I lost because of my ego, my pride. Or maybe the girls I dated where it's like, it was my fault, but my pride wouldn't let me say it was my fault. So now I casted this dark cloud on you like it was your fault. And even family members, bro, where it's like cousins that you haven't talked to in a while, but you love, but y'all never had that conversation because it's murky, right? Instead of you picking up the phone, right? But you don't want to pick up the phone because you're in this dark space where it's like, man, it's them, it's not me, right? So I just had to make that tweet because like it was an outlet for me. And I started using Twitter as just an outlet for me to just say whatever I want to say and not hold it in. And that dark space is real, bro. Like it's real. I'm sorry to blabber
No,
on.
you're good. You're good.
Bro, I graduated. I mean, going back, I graduated college. When I was working that HR job, bro, I was in a really bad depression, bro, because I was out of college. Um, relationship, the girl I was dating at the time, relationship was not good. And I felt like I was living in the basement. right? Had the curtain as the door, right? Little TV screen on the file cabinet, bed on the floor, bro. Just graduated college. Coming from college, you living kind of like nice townhouse in college, you living, but now you hit rock bottom, and now you working these crazy hours, 9 to 5, right? You working all day. Your dream of events going down the drain because you ain't got free time, and you living in the basement, and you sitting down like the girl that you like at the time left you because you rock bottom, and it's like where do I go from here? So now you're crying, bro. You're crying every day, smoking a lot, drinking a lot, eating out, because that's the only way that makes you feel some type of, it numbs you. And that dark space, I treat people wrong, talk to family members wrong, crazy. Brothers I knew for 15 plus years, treating them bad. It's like, damn. And it took me a while to get out that hole. But that was really a dark time. I think I was around 25, 26.
Why put this out there? Why let people know that you weren't okay?
One, to show them like I wasn't okay, but I did the necessary steps, and you can too. Therapy, right? Finding something to believe in, spiritual, whatever spirituality you believe in, right? Getting mentors, asking a person. I start asking people that was doing better than me, can you be my mentor? Can you show me? Not letting that pride go, right? Letting that pride go, letting them know like, hey man, I want some leadership. I need some guidance. And I want everybody to know, because you look at Shy and Ice, I was like, man, they going crazy. They doing their thing. But it was one point where all of us was going through that depression phase, trying to live out our dream, trying to make an experience happen. And no, we didn't just come out of nowhere. No, we're sleeping in the basement of our parents' house, making $700 a week or 2 weeks with bills, and trying to make this experience pop so I can live out my dream. And I'm letting everybody know this because you can overcome it too. And it's not going to happen within a year. You ever see that post like take 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to add another 6 months. And add another 6 months, bro. 6 months ain't going to help. It takes more than 6 months. It takes years of really blocking out, coming out of that depression, and really like, okay, I'm better now.
There's this song by Ed Sheeran, and it's funny because I hadn't listened to it in a while, and recently it came on, and man, the past, what are we in, July? Past like 4 months for me has just been terrible. And I talked about it in the last interview too, and it was just a time period where I was like, man, like I resented this. So I'll give you a little background, right?
Please do, bro.
I dedicated so much time to this, and because I love it, right? This is what I do. I'm good at it. People like it. That I wasn't pouring into other people. Now, certain relationship, you lose that relationship, you poured a lot into that as well. So now you got the one thing that you poured more into, and it's like, you have this like, damn, like I have this still, but I don't have that. So now I'm angry at myself because I allowed this to happen, but at the same time, like, this is what I wanted. I wanted this to be my priority. I wanted this to be the biggest thing possible. And it's not where you want it to be. So now you lose the person that was your whole world, and you have this thing that you've poured so much into that now you feel like it's starting to fall from where it was, right?
Bro, you going crazy. Come on.
So you're trying to figure out like, okay, how do I get there? How do I get there? How do I get there? Meanwhile, you're still continuing to do what you're supposed to do, but none of it's hitting. None of it's doing what you want it to do. So you're in this state where you're like, damn, from what I read, it's like a functional freeze, right? You're doing everything that you possibly can, but everything's pretty much the same. And you're only doing what you need to do. You're not doing more than what you need to do. You're only doing enough. So I already knew. I was like, oh fuck, I'm not doing enough. I'm allowing myself to be down bad for real. And there was this post that I made where it was a Billie Eilish interview, and she says like, I allowed so many good things to pass me by because I was sad. And I got tired of it. I got tired of holding on to being sad about somebody that wasn't in my life anymore. And even after I posted that, I was still sad about that shit for like another month. I mean, I can't blame myself, right? I can't sit here and be like, oh, like I didn't care. But at the same time, it's like, oh well, it is what it is. Now it's time to get back to it. So now we're back to it. We're recording every week. But going back to it, right? The song is Curtains by Ed Sheeran, and he talks about when he introduces the song is there's periods of your life where you want to shut everything out. You won't, like you said, right? You close everything up. You're just there by yourself. And eventually people come around and they pull those curtains back. You're ready to finally see the light again. And you're finally coming out of that state where he says, can you pull the curtains? Let me see the sunshine. I think I'm done with my hiding place. And you found me anyway. Like, there's those times where you finally realize, like, I'm done. I'm done being sad. I can't do it anymore. Now let's go make something happen. Let's make this let's make this bigger than what it was. Don't give up on something because you're down. Let it be that outlet and let it show you what you need to be, what you need to do.
I really felt those lyrics like when it's like I'm here now. Like you break out, you see the light, and I feel like that's what happens in that moment of depression when you go in that dark space. The sun come out, and when the sun come out, then it's like okay, I was down bad, but now it's time to get back into it. And thank the sun, you think waking up every day 'cause it's like okay, now I know I'm still getting over it, but I am getting better, and that's all that matters.
So last thing I'm gonna ask you, right? What was it you felt so confused about during that time?
I just felt so confused on like my place and my purpose. Like I go from college of being cab president, right, making all these decisions, to now I'm at rock bottom again. And it's like Tony Montana, right? He's in Miami trying to figure out how to become this super boss, right? The world is yours, right? So now I'm back in the city, and now I'm at ground zero with no connection, none of that. And I'm just really hurt and sad because it's like people see me in that light before at NIU where it was shining so bright. Will I ever get to that point? Am I still gonna make my parents happy? Am I still gonna make I'm still gonna be successful? Right? Coming from something to hitting rock bottom is like, you start to doubt yourself, like, was that just all a fluke? Right? Was I putting on a facade? Right? Because people see you in college doing great things, and now it's like everybody hates to be that guy. Was like, oh yeah, 50 Cent. Oh, it was I forgot the song. I forgot the song, but it's a 50 Cent song where it's like you doing something back then, but now you're not. Right? So it's kind of like I was struggling with that. Like, I don't want to be that guy. I want to continue to elevate. And that's what got my depression and my sadness going. It was like, will I ever get to that point again? That happiness.
And you take that a step further, right? Think back to your childhood. You mentioned you came from something and you go to nothing, but you came from nothing, you went to something, and then you went back to nothing.
It's just the road of life, bro. Like, you go from bing, bing, bing. It's like, it's so many bumps in life that, like, this is what life is. And you start to realize, like, okay, everything's going good, but a bump will come. And you go through so many bumps in life that bumps become so normal, it don't hit you as hard, right? Everything was going great with Icehouse, right? And I tore my Achilles, right? Playing ball, bro. So now I'm at parties, bro. Crutches on the scooter, right? And every time I move, my legs swell up because you're not supposed to be moving anywhere. But like, I got this passion, but I couldn't move around, go talk to venues. I couldn't move around and do this and that. So now the brand is just not as good as it should be, right? And another bump in the road. And now I had to overcome that. So life's gonna keep going like that. I think I had to learn that. Like, it's not a straight path. We gotta have to jump over hurdles. And that biggest hurdle with that depression. Once I got over that, like that can overcome a lot. So going through the Achilles was like, okay, it sucks, bro, because like I'm gaining weight all over again. I was just getting a good gym routine, but I had to think to myself like, I've been through worse.
The last thing I want to highlight is the fact that when you said that, you know, everybody sees they see me, they see the brand, and they think that shit's sweet. They think because this is successful, I'm okay. And I want to highlight that because that's the important part, right? That just because you see what I'm doing, and you, again, social media, just because you see what I'm doing, just because you see the success that's following, it doesn't mean that I'm okay right now. I could be going through the worst shit of my life. But just because these posts are going up, just because these parties are going up, just because there's people around, you think that, oh, well, he's going to keep doing what he's doing and shit will be good eventually.
I've learned to check on a lot of people, and I'll add you in my rotation, bro. I will, because I feel like it's important to check on one another, bro, and ask them like, man, are you okay? And call them like, man, you doing good? Even the slightest thing, I started doing that lately. Like, you good? You okay? Like I text people that even at my events, that's a natural thing for me. I go to a person that's by
I
themselves.
seen it. I seen it, yeah.
You good? You sure you good? Because if you want to take a shot, let's talk about it. We take a shot, let's talk about it. You know, and I got that because I understand like at some points I'm not okay. And it's not nothing super deep. Maybe it's where it's like, man, like I'm going through some family issues, right? Or I'm going through something where like I'm not hitting a certain goal that I have. So now I'm, you know, oh, I'm lonely at home because dating life sucks, right? I don't know. Like it's things you can go through, right? So you just have to, you know, really check on people, bro, and make sure they're okay. And it's okay. I know we all think we're doing well in life, but it's okay to tap on somebody on the shoulder and be like, man, what's up with you? And I really appreciate everybody that hits me after my events. Like, man, you good? Even you, like, man, what you get into? That's cool. I rock with that, bro. I'm gonna tell you what I got into. I'm gonna be vulnerable, man. That's what happened, man. You know, and I feel like I love people that reach out to me after my events. Be like, man, how are you feeling about everything? I'm like, man, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. And I go in detail if it's not. And they give me their little advice. Not little advice. They give me their advice, or they give me some words of wisdom, or they be like, okay, well, hope you go overcome it. And that means more than anything. So
I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate your patience today, bro.
all love, bro.
Man, shout out you. Shout out Icehause.
Sad Boy Radio.
Hey, Sad
My
Boys
boys.
for real. If you haven't, make sure you guys go ahead and check out Icehause Events. You got anything you want to plug? Any new events coming up?
Man, yeah. So we got Ratio coming up at the Voo Rooftop. The summer finale, the biggest rooftop party in the city, 22 stories high above the city. It's up. Oh.
Make sure you guys go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Sad Boys for real. Peace out.
This is Sad Boy Radio.